10 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Would you stand and say the pledge of allegiance with us?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record show everyone's present. We got a consent agenda. Look things over. I'd like to remove item 2B from this. Postpone that one.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda and remove item 2B from the agenda for today.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We have a sign-up sheet for anybody that wants to speak at public speaking. It's over on this table over here. And we allow about 30 minutes. Each person gets a 3-minute time. You must state your name and address when you come to the podium and speak. And if you want to speak, sign up. Okay. First up, Mark Ekman, Executive Director, Council Bluffs Convention and Tourism. Update on Pottawatomie County tourism. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. I just want to say that you should all have the packet that's going to be gone over. I'm going to give that to you in advance. And I'm not claiming credit to be the executive director of Pottawatomie Tourism, just to put that up a little bit. I am going to pass it off to Melvin Hauser, who is the chairperson of the Pottawatomie Tourism Committee.
Thanks, Mark. Good morning.
Morning.
Now for Mr. Jones's benefit, I'll give a little history of this committee. It started, we think, about 2008. So for over 15 years, I've been chairing this committee, and since my retirement, I was asked to be chairing it. And so it keeps me out of the house a few days a year. But the committee was formed as kind of a partnership between the Council Bluffs CBB, or contributions from the Board of Supervisors to help support this marketing that we do. With the Council Bluffs CBB, Mark Ekman and Craig Carlson doing a lot of the staff work. We're also partnered with the Golden Hills RC&D, and Seth here is representing Golden Hills. Also, there's other, Whitehead, there she is. I'm always missing Stacy. Whitehead and the Conservation Board. Your Conservation Board do a lot of advertising of events and the parks and events and other attractions around the whole county. And it also helps the small towns. We have two other ladies on the committee, Ruby Bentley from Macedonia and Gail Strickland from Oakland, who are good participants, but couldn't be with us today. We meet every other month just to make sure that the board's contribution is being spent wisely and efficient. So we'll go over some of the accomplishments that we've had, a few of them over the last year. I'll let Seth talk about the low-high trek.
Yep, my name is Seth Brooks. I'm with Golden Hills RC&D. And last year, the tourism committee made a monetary contribution to our low-high trek. Low-high stands for less hills. And the low-high trek is a annual multi-day hiking and camping excursion organized by Golden Hills in Kelly Madigan. Last year was our 5th year, and the first time it was in Pottawatomie County, and it brought over 40 people to Pottawatomie County. We camped at Hitchcock Nature Center for 4 days, hiked in Hitchcock and some other places in Pottawatomie County. There was over 30 zip codes represented from people that came to the low-high trek last year in Pottawatomie County from 8 different states. It was a great event where we hiked at Hitchcock Nature Center. We had an urban day in Council Bluffs where we went to the Fairview Cemetery, to see the Black Angel statue and also Fairmount Park, and also saw Bisson Bluff State Preserve. So that contribution from the Tourism Committee was very important in the success of that low-high trek to bring people from out of state and out of the community to Potawatomi County to see the natural beauty and just the hiking opportunities that are here in Potawatomi County.
Okay, thanks, Seth. I did forget, but before I go on, I want to recognize Becca Castle, who's another member of the committee, and she represents the Southwest Iowa Bike Trail. Ruby and Gail have organized this museum tour and done it for 3 years. And it takes, it's kind of a tour between the museums in Macedonia, Oakland, and Avoca, and is there another one? Walnut. And it's been pretty successful. They're really excited about it. So people can just tour those museums throughout that weekend. And I wish one of those two was here to give you a little more detail on that tour. Now, Mark can go ahead and talk about the tourism awards.
So several years ago, we started the Omaha Metropolitan Area Tourism Awards between Unleashed Council Bluffs and Visit Omaha. One time, Sarpy County Tourism was a part of it. They have since dropped out. But the great thing from having it more from a in-person luncheon, recognizing individuals, volunteers, and staff members, we morphed it into something where we can recognize outstanding attractions, hotels, restaurants, retail businesses, and that's been the case where we've been able to recognize, the Back 40 in Macedonia in a past year, the occasional collective and trainer. Last year, Hitchcock Nature Center was one of the recipients as the outstanding attraction. Susan was there, Brian was there, I believe, when the award was presented. And we did that once again in 2025. And like I mentioned, Hitchcock Nature Center was a recipient. So was Boxer Barbecue, as well as Harrah's Hotel and Casino. And then
Dreamland Theater.
What's that?
The Dreamland Theater.
The Dreamland Theater in 2023, I believe. And then I'm thinking of the last.
Pizza King, was it?
It was Boxer Barbecue.
Oh.
It'll come to me, but at any rate, it's an opportunity to recognize these different types of businesses that are such huge contributors to travel and tourism. The winners are announced as they were here during National Travel and Tourism Week. We do ask the board for a proclamation in recognition of the industry, and then also to have the recipients of the awards come here and actually be on hand. And I'm thinking of the best retail recipient that was Bloomworks on the 100 block. So it's really moved around quite a bit. We have seen some great rural recognition along with winners here in Council Bluffs, but it's really putting Potawatomi County on the map of this greater metro. And that's a great collaboration between Visit Omaha and this particular event happening in Potawatomi County, is that we are being seen and heard and recognized as contributors to drawing people to the Omaha, Council Bluffs, Potawatomi County metropolitan area. So we just had a meeting, Craig and I did last week on January 14th to begin the conversation, the planning for 2026. So that's going to happen. The committee's involvement is that it is one of the sponsors and has provided $2,500 towards the cost. Doesn't cover all of it. Visit Omaha and Unleashed Council Bluffs have to cover the remaining balance, but we think it's a great exercise because it engages the Visit Omaha people on recognizing, hey, there's a lot of great things here that maybe they're not aware of, and then it becomes a part of their mix. What you may have seen recently as a county interest and concern is that Visit Omaha makes Crescent Hill at Hitchcock a part of their marketing mix during winter travel season. So that's one of the, I think, pluses is to this collaboration, is that there's not a hard wall at the state line or the county line, that there's this an ability to see that we have all something to contribute to attract visitors to the area.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Craig, do you want to address the highway metrics?
Were you gonna touch on the
Did I miss something?
sidewalk tour?
Oh, that's me. I was skipping myself. Yeah, the Southwest Iowa Art Tour was started, 5, 6 or more years ago, by the Golden Hills RC&D. And we've been collaborating with them. And I think it covers all of the little art studios like Penny and
Russ.
Russ in Neola, isn't it?
Yep.
Where they are? Neola and the Painted Camel in Macedonia and several of these other art studios. And it goes down into Mills County into Malvern and with some of their exhibits. And it's been quite successful and it's a 2-day.
3 days.
Huh?
3 days. 3 days.
3-day.
Yeah.
Okay.
19th through the
I should have let somebody else do this presentation on the art tour, but it's been very successful and brings a lot of attention to the county in southwest Iowa. Now, Craig. Go ahead.
Thank you, Milton. Yeah, we work with Neapolitan Labs, who you are familiar with, to manage our website and our social media. Where you don't like the mustache?
I didn't recognize you. It took me about 5 minutes, but go ahead.
We work with Neapolitan Labs to manage social media accounts for Waterway and the Waterway.com. In 2025, there were over 27,500 views with over 8,500 users coming from out of the state. Obviously, that's a huge contribution to the tourism efforts of Potawatomi County. Events listed to the website of Waterway.com are continue to be the leading source for the traffic to the website. That's been an emphasis within our committee to spread awareness within Potawatomi County, the smaller communities throughout the county, to submit those websites and allow Waterway.com to be the go-to source to find out what's going on throughout all the towns in Potawatomi County. Events submitted to Waterway.com are also submitted to UnleashCB.com, which gets its own 30,000 visits per month. So lots of exposure for any event taking place in Potawatomi County. And that we're hopeful that can snowball into, again, becoming the go-to source to find things to do in Potawatomi County. Trails obviously continue to be a big part of the traffic to the website as well. The natural landscapes in Potawatomi County are a big piece to our communication efforts daily. And that kind of leads me to the 2026 Iowa Travel Guide advertising as well. So you should have a copy of the 26 Travel Guide. That half-page ad was placed in conjunction with UnleashCB.com, a discounted rate to split a full-page ad between the two operations and promote more outdoor recreation in Potawatomi County through the Crescent Hill of Hitchcock. Yeah, I think that's it. Any questions?
There's a clip
So
on
if
the top.
we have an event in
See it?
Carson,
Yes.
if I submit it to the Unleash CB site, does it go back to
It can.
Waterway?
It can. You could use either or.
You don't have
If
to
you-
enter it twice?
Yeah, if you submit it to waterway.com, it'll automatically load to Waterway. But there's an option, if you submit through the unleashcb.com web channel, there's an option to select whether or not that'll go. On our end, we normally check that too. So if there's something taking place outside of Council Bluffs, we'll check that box if it's not already checked in the submission.
I just want to know if I needed to do it twice.
Nope, you're good.
Just
You're
one.
good.
John Melvin?
You want to touch on was there another question there?
No, I said, are you done?
No, we're not done.
Okay.
We're still going.
Not quite. We'll pick up the speed a little bit here. In your pocket folder, along with the other things, the report itself, you're going to find the printed pieces that we put out, just as a reminder that this is also something that the committee does. You have the rack card that promotes Potawatomi County trails on one side, Crescent Hill on the other. We have a map that lists all of the attractions throughout the county, also a map of Council Bluffs to provide those as well. This is a pretty popular piece from what I've been told as far as our distributor, which I'll talk about in a minute. The West Nishnabotna River Water Trail, the very first water trail designated by the Iowa Department of Natural Resources. And then Stars and Bronze Tribute Trail. This is primarily the vehicle to promote the Eagles of Honor, but other things that honor both military service members as well as veterans. And then the committee works collaboratively with Unleash Council Bluffs, formerly known as the Council Bluffs CVB, to put out this inspirational guide, which is our local version of a visitor guide, but we call it the inspiration guide. So it is seen as being as applicable to locals as it is somebody from outside of the area. And so there's a lot of content devoted to the rural communities, Potawatomi conservation, all the things, many things to see and do throughout both the city and the county. How we distribute that, because once you have a printed piece, you need to get it out there in order for the audience to see it and be inspired, is that we utilize a service called CTM Media Group, which allows us to distribute it pretty efficiently and effectively, not only throughout the Council Bluffs and Omaha Metro, but also the Des Moines Metro, as well as up and down Interstate 29. So we're doing that along with distributing it through the Iowa Welcome Center system. And that's just all done very quickly and easily. By doing it collaboratively, we can cover the cost more effectively as well as take care of that since we are a volunteer committee that has to do quite a bit in addition to our day job. So yeah, those are some of the things that we're doing brochure-wise. We did apply for an Iowa tourism grant once again to initiate another winter marketing campaign. This is the work that we've done since the county took possession of formerly known as Mount Crescent, but now Crescent Hill. We just need the weather to cooperate maybe a little bit more, but we've been out there aggressively marketing that as one of many things to see and do during the winter months. I think we all know that really travel dies down over the winter months, but actually that's when we need it the most. That's when restaurants need patrons. That's when retail businesses need customers, all of that good stuff. And here's one of the rare opportunities that we can say, hey, we've got this. Not every Iowa county or county in the Midwest, for that matter, has something like this. We can draw people in, it can employ local folks, it can give locals a great amenity, but having those visitors come in just help underwrite the cost that the attraction like Crescent Hill, but also retail businesses can be as successful as they possibly can. That grant was for $10,000 to underwrite a $20,000 marketing campaign. We had contributions though from Potawatomi Conservation. This committee, along with WIDA and then Unleash Council Bluffs, matched the Potawatomi Conservation contribution of $4,000 to be able to get us to reach that $20,000 campaign. So it started on January 2nd. It's going to conclude on February 28th. It's a very brief season, but I don't know that any of us want winter to go on any longer than it has to. So we'll celebrate while we can and make the most out of it.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Now, Mark Shoemaker, who is our newest committee member, will give you a little update on our tourism and economic impact.
I've been on the committee for a little bit.
Well, yes, you have.
So, Tim, Mark Shoemaker, just so you know who I am, you recognize me. So, being in conservation for 30 years, I realized early on how far people actually travel for outdoor recreation in parks. They also do that for every community in Potawatomi County that has an attraction or retail store, museum, or anything like that. So tourism is a big industry and it has a big impact on the communities and the county. Direct spending in Potawatomi County was just over $334 million. It's the 6th highest in the 99 counties. And in Iowa, direct spending for tourism is $7.5 billion. So that's all I have. Okay.
You said that,
Yeah.
that's for the state?
What's that? 7.5 billion is for the
7.5.
state. Yeah.
Like you said, the spending puts us the 6th highest of 99 counties. Where do we rank as far as recreational opportunities in the county? Do you remember that?
I'd have to look back and see. I mean,
Are we like 90th?
90th in the state?
I think you're talking about acreage or miles, yeah.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I don't recall. I don't know what it is right now. I've been gone for a year and a half, so it could be different. Do
Okay.
you recall?
Do I?
Yeah.
It's in the 90s.
Okay.
I just don't remember which one.
Jeff, you want to chime in?
Sure, yeah, when it comes to the number of acres per person on the bottom third of the state. So we rank quite low. The number of areas that we have, we're about middle. And we're near the end when it comes to total acreages as well. So we're the second largest as far as area goes. I think we're the 9th largest population. We're the 6th largest spending from a tourism standpoint. So there's a good argument to be made here that we're underserving constituents with recreational opportunities. Could be doing more, I think.
But we have the best, right?
What's that?
We have the best.
Well, I mean, when we talk about some of the awards that our parks have won, the recognitions that we've received, we are certainly one of the most recognized entities in the state when it comes to the kind of recreational activity. We have excellent parks and opportunities. We have additional opportunities. I think we need to take advantage of in the future as well. So we could really make this a tourist hotspot if we wanted to.
Good. Thanks.
Is there any more questions regarding that? I'll wrap it up with the, thanks for listening to us. And the board's been supporting this committee for about $65,000 a year over the past several years. And of course, I understand what your budgeting concerns are. And I think every year it's probably, sounds like it's getting a little tighter and tighter all the time. But we're going to ask for an increase of $5,000, $70,000 to support this, just because costs are going up and the needs are still there. So that's our official request of $70,000. And I know you've got the hard part to do coming up, and we get to do the fun stuff, and you guys have to do the hard stuff. But that's our request for the upcoming fiscal year. And so on behalf of the committee, I'd like to thank you for listening to us and keep on trucking. Thank you.
Really think it's really brought Hot County up a lot with the tourism. And I think we realized how much money is out there for tourism. The bicycle trail, one thing that flabbergasted me, it's like 1.3 billion in the state for bicycling. That's, a lot of people travel a lot for bicycling, and that's part of the tourism. So hopefully we get this trail in here. We see even more. So any questions, comments?
Appreciate all of you coming in today.
Okay. There is no action taken today. It wasn't on the agenda, so we can't take action today, but duly noted.
We'll keep reminding you.
Okay, I'm sure you will. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for what you're doing.
Thank you.
I think there's a formal request that needs to be submitted for funding.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay,
Okay.
next up, Laura Monson, Education Coordinator, Pete Hobson, Commissioner, East Pot County Soil and Water, and Laura Ferguson, District Conservationist. West Pot Soil and Water, discussion on annual review of the 2080 agreement with West Pot County Soil and Water Conservation District and East Pot County Soil and Water Conservation District. How you guys?
Hello, how are
we
you?
doing? I just want to say thanks for serving on that. That's a big deal.
Thank you for having me here today.
Yeah,
Yes, so we've got Chris Perdue. He is part of our East Pot board. So is Bernie, Pete, Terry. Laura is the district conservationist. We have Dawn here from the West Pot board too. And my name's Laura Munson. It's nice to see you all again and to meet you, Keith.
Nice to meet you.
Yes. And so I'm the county education coordinator for East and West Potawatomi Soil and Water Conservation Districts. This will be my June will be my 4-year mark in this position. So I've just got kind of a review of this last year here for you all. If you could go to the next slide. So a version of this position has existed for over 30 years within Potawatomi County, but for the last 4 years, thanks to a partnership with both of the boards and with you all, it's been able to be a full-time and position with benefits. And so with all of that time, I've been able to really kind of take off and run with this program, and it's been doing really, really well this year, especially. So my focus is to lead a childhood education and public outreach program focused on conservation and agriculture. And the benefit really for me is just sparking a passion and curiosity in agriculture and the environment for Potawatomi County.
Or don't you go to the schools?
Yes, I
for
do.
kids?
Yeah, so that's our next one. So I go to HSTW, Riverside, Tri-Center, Trainer, Underwood, Titan Hill, Longfellow. I've gone to a couple other Council Bluffs schools, went to the Crescent School when it was still open. And in the past 2.5 years, we've reached thousands of students. Just this year alone, we've got 1,496 students involved in our in-class programs. In total with field days that we did, with our soil pit judging practice, with summer camp involvement, with School of the Wild involvement, we have 2,050 students have been involved just in the past year.
Wow.
Yes. So it's going well. And so the kind of main part of my position is to go into the schools and present programs for the kids. So that's just a list of some of my most popular programs. But we talk a lot about conservation, agriculture, soil, native wildlife, and pollinators. And I really work with the teachers a lot on making sure that our programs fit with their curriculum. So I email with them a lot, talk with them a lot, and make sure that what we're doing matches what they're teaching in the class and just extends on it and connects it to something in our natural world. And so we also do a lot outside of the classroom. So I've been involved in the STEM fests. This year we did a station all about soil. So those students learned how soil is formed, what soil is made of, and then learned about the different soil horizons. I also do an after-school program at HSTW in Riverside for 3rd through 5th graders. That's called the Conservation Superheroes Club, and we've had a really good involvement in that too in the past few years. We meet once a month to talk about how soil, air, energy, water, plants, and animals all connect with conservation. We also did really well on our CDI poster contest this year. Last year, we had Chen Gao, who got it all the way to the national level. She won first place at the national contest. This year, we had 2 students place in regionals. So they got first place in Southwest Iowa area. And they're on the next slide, but I was also involved in STEM career days as well. So talking to high school students about different careers that they can be involved in conservation and agriculture. And this was our CDI poster contest. So this year, the theme was Home is Where the Habitat Is. And we had 2 regional placers this year. For East Potawatomi, we had Sydney Reed. And for West Potawatomi, Lily Wilson placed first in our regionals. And those are their posters and pictures. We also do a lot outside. So May is almost completely full of field days for us. So this past May, we had our 5th grade Botany Bend field day. We had just over 100 5th graders from HSTW and Riverside come out to Botany Bend for a field day, learning all about different things like prairie plants and pollinators, how rivers form, agriculture, and native Iowan wildlife in the soil. We also had our Trainer Arbor Day / Mulch Madness is what they call it, I think. And we partnered with trainer schools and trainer optimists to put that on. We got a donation from Home Depot of about, I think it was between 6 to 9 trees that the students were then able to plant on school grounds. And then we also got a donation of mulch to mulch all the trees that have been planted in the past. So it's a big day full of work and them getting outside and getting things done. We also had our Trees for Threes this year too. So we had students from Trainer and Riverside, 3rd grade students, come out for a field day at Botany Bend Park. And then they each got to take a native Iowan red oak tree home to plant. And then when I come back to their 4th grade classes the next year, they always tell me about how their tree is doing. So that's nice too. They actually do plant them, which is good. We also are involved with School of the Wild for Underwood 5th grade and Titan Hill 5th grade. Been a part of that for 2 years now. We also had our soil pit practice judging event. This year we had just under 60 high school students from all around the Southwest Iowa area come and participate in that. We had really great participation for that this year. And then this is my 3rd or 4th time presenting a station at the Karstens Farms Kids Day. And then around 122 students, that number is wrong, 122 students visited our station. And then things don't stop just because it's summer. We also have summer camps in partnership with Potawatomi County Conservation. Those are all at Botany Bend. We have the Wild Wanderers, Wild Seekers, and Wild Ones. We had great involvement with that this year, and the students had a really, really great time. They get to spend 3 days at the park from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. So kind of that morning time. And we learn all about different things like wildlife and soil and river formation. And it's a really great camp that I'm very happy to be partnering with the county conservation on. We also had booths at the East Pot County Fair and West Fair, talking about soil. And then I also lead classes for the Riverside Child Program during the summer. And we also do a lot of community outreach too. So we had a really, really great women landowner meeting out at Hitchcock this summer. We had a lot of involvement from the county conservation staff, and we had a presentation from an ISU professor and from a couple NRCS staff as well. So we had kind of a morning of talking about different things that are going on in our county and how the women landowners can incorporate conservation on their land. And then we did a tour of Hitchcock after lunch. And then I'm also involved in the SWISH group, which is a local group of ag professionals and NRCS staff. And we meet every month during the winter to talk about different things to do with soil. And I also got to attend the Iowa Women in Agriculture Conference this year. We heard a lot of great speakers talking about different things going on in agriculture, and got to meet a lot of really great people that day too. So that was a really, really great event that was put on. And then we still have lots of things upcoming. Summer camp registration is open for members now. And then we also have scholarships for students going into college that are available and still open. And then we also have a SWISH meeting coming up too. So lots of things still happening, lots of lessons still to do this year as well. So I also just want to say thank you to you all for allowing me to do the work that I do. Without you all and without the teachers and partnership from everyone in this county, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So thank you so much for all of your involvement.
My granddaughter was in one of your classes.
Yes,
That was really cool.
I'm
We talked
glad.
About that for a long time.
I'm glad, very glad.
Mulch Madness.
Yes,
That sounds like a John.
it is a John Klein. Yes, yes. He started it with the trainer optimist and he still is involved, but now he kind of shifted the main operation over to Brett McVeigh. And so he kind of leads it. And then I kind of help facilitate mainly the day of. And I also help make sure that we have the donations and things like that from Home Depot and for the mulch. Yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Questions, comments?
Laura, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, just wanted to say that Lori's been doing an amazing job this past year, you know, really expanding upon the program in East Potawatomi, but I just want to make a special recognition for all the work in West Potawatomi, since she really started a lot of those in-class lessons from the ground up. There wasn't much involvement in the West Potawatomi schools before Laura came on board, so getting into schools like Underwood and Tri-Center was a big deal, and building those relationships with our local communities.
And I did forget to say, we had 481 new students involved in our classroom programs this year and almost 100 more lessons this past year than the year before. So we're expanding.
Good.
Pete, you're on the agenda. Just,
Well, you all got a copy of
I did.
our expenditures last fiscal year, this fiscal year, and what we're projecting for next year. So as you can see, we're getting close to using everything that you guys contribute.
You know what the balance is in that education?
I don't, because there was money that we had and West Pot had contributed.
There was some money from the county that was still there too.
This started our 2080 agreement, so I don't know. We got a meeting Thursday, but you won't be there.
Yeah, you know, we have budget discussions Thursday and, but anyway, should the board, I mean, right now we contribute 80,000, so, and that's to cover the educational coordinator. Proposed expenses or estimated expenses are 78. We don't need to do anything yet, do we?
No, but I just want you guys to realize where we're at now. Because when we come to the end of this this first degree period, whether if we go to extend in the future, we're going to be using it all. And we'll have to face that at that time.
Do we spend that balance down before we do anything else?
Good.
Was that a 5-year agreement or a 4-year?
5, I believe.
Yeah.
Does that automatically renew or does that require a vote of the board?
We'll have to negotiate it all out again, I think. That's why I want you guys to be well aware that by the time we hit that 5th year, we'll probably be at full 80,000.
I want to spend your reserves down too.
And then Dawn just.
Don Diltz. I was voted onto West Pot Board probably about 20 years ago. But one of the things I noticed at that point in time is that East Pot had an educational program going on that really sparked interest in me. So I started talking with them, trying to figure out how to bring it to West Pot to join together, do different things. We started that process based off of the foundation that they put in place before we ever entered the picture. But we were still having issues and problems trying to figure out how to finance something. So I wanted to officially stand up and just say to the board that thank you. We took something that was minimal and we made it something very important. What I mean by that is, as the farmers around the area and the board, we want to assure healthy soils, wind erosion, water erosion, all those type of things. And how do you best deal with that? You go to your youth and you start planting seeds at that time, before they're up making the decisions. So thanks to the board to allow this program to go forward, because as you have seen, it's been very effective in doing the things that it's intended to do.
It's done.
Heard nothing but good about your program, Laura.
I'm glad, very glad.
Well, I've got to believe that 2,050 students who have been through one of your programs looks at life differently. I mean, they remember those lessons in their life decisions, in their career choices, and it is a good foundation.
Chris, Bernie, Terry?
It's much easier to teach young people and show young people how to do things than it is to try to change us older people that are set in ways.
Real quick, are there still areas of Potawatomi County that are natural prairie grass areas? I mean, I think we've had this discussion in the past, and there was some issue with the natural prairie grass going away, I guess. Is that still an issue? Still something we need to keep on top of?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I think across the board, Iowa has about 0.1 or 0.01% of natural prairie left. I think Hitchcock is probably our largest in the county.
Vincent Bluff as well.
Vincent Bluffs as well. So yeah, prairie restoration is still very, very important.
And you present presentations on natural prairie grass.
Yes, I do. Yeah. I've got a program called Out on the Prairie that I'll actually be doing, that I just did with HSCW 4th grade last week, and we'll be doing next week too. And then the next week I'll be presenting to Tri-Center 4th grade about prairie plants as well. So it's definitely part of my programs.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I just don't know how you get it all done.
She probably needs an assistant.
It's a lot. I just had 5 emails this morning requesting to schedule lessons. So fitting it all in is it's a task, but I'm up for it.
Moving.
It's great. Yep.
Good. Questions, comments?
I wish I had this when I was a kid. I probably could use it now.
Yeah, I never had anything like this when I was a kid. We had like science programs from the museum come in once in a while, but that was about it. So getting to do this for the kids I work with now is just, it's my passion. I love it.
Just
It
thinking
shows.
about a county employee day where you could teach us about soil health out on the front steps. And
Sure, anytime. We've got we've got the rainfall simulator. Yes, the rainfall simulator would be a great thing to do.
You know, Des Moines this year is going to debate soil health, erosion, cover crops, a lot of different things. So falls right in line with that.
Important.
Thanks for coming in, everybody.
Thank you for
Really
having me.
appreciate it. Or keep up the good work.
I will.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next up is Matt Wyant, Director of Planning and Development. Second consideration of ordinance number 2026-01. An ordinance to amend Pot County, Iowa zoning ordinance, chapter 8, by adding battery energy storage systems. Morning, Matt.
Good morning.
How we doing?
Good.
Good. Okay. Susan?
so last week, we had our public hearing and there was no public here. And we approved a first reading. And I've done a lot of research since then. And I still have a lot more research to do. It's a moving target, I believe. I sent some of my concerns to Doug Reed from the EMA standpoint. And I just think this is a bad time to go forward with this ordinance. And I guess I'm willing to table it for today so that we don't take any more action on it until we need to. I don't see Kristen in here. I didn't know what my motion should be exactly.
We don't really have to do anything. We don't have to approve the second reading. As I talked about in the last meeting, I wasn't ready to move forward. There were some situations and conditions that I thought we should take another look at, including the fire suppression, the gases that come from a fire, the setbacks. The 500-foot setback, I didn't think was far enough. And I just think that this requires more study from the board. But it's your call. I'm not gonna vote to move it forward.
I don't know procedurally, since you have a public hearing, this, and either way, just if you have to open the public hearing, close the public hearing, or if you even have to open the public hearing, I just know we scheduled one for it. Just,
What's that, Matt?
should be a public hearing for second consideration or no?
Not on our agenda.
No, we only have one public hearing, right?
Okay.
So that's where I'm at. I just, it's a big deal. It's a commercial battery storage system usually supplied by a wind energy company or a solar energy that provides the power for the storage and the batteries. I know Matt sent a couple of ordinances from other counties. One of the other counties had a 1,320-foot setback, which is a quarter mile. How far those toxic vapors get blown, I don't know. I just think we need to do a little more homework on this. We're not in a race here. We don't have any applications, right?
Correct.
Nobody's asked to place this in, right?
We've had an informal request, yes.
Who was that from?
That was from RWE.
That's what I thought. This battery storage system also gets tax credits, so I think that's one of the reasons why they're pushing this. And so we're all paying for it. I said, if we're gonna have to pay for it, let's do it right. So,
Doug Reed is here today. Did you want to make any comments, Doug?
Yeah, talked to Matt a little bit, seen your email. Concerns are valid. Some of the information I think that you want to try and find out, you really won't. Each site, should there be some type of malfunction or some type of fire emergency, the off-gassing of those products, really gonna be dependent on what the capacity is of that particular site. And then you've got all the environmental elements of just where it's at, right? Where's it at topography wise? Wind speed, direction, dew points, all that stuff. So there's not gonna be a stock answer. There'll be a general guideline, for a standoff zone that maybe we can, adjust setbacks if you feel that's good. I think what Matt has, in the ordinance for the general safety stuff in the construction and operation of the facility, having the emergency plan, having it looked at through our office, and the requirements to follow the NFPA standards are more than adequate. Because in doing it the way that he's put that piece of it together, puts us in a better position liability wise than trying to specify a whole bunch of specifics for something that, could be a moving target, right? So, I also had, commented to Matt too, we have way too specific, with those safety kind of things. Who's gonna be inspecting that and at what cost, right? So, it's not like just somebody can go do it, right? They need to be experts in the field. That costs money, right? This is health and safety stuff, right? So we don't want to scrimp, but, a good practice is just reference the standards that are already out there that are required. These facilities, because the battery construction would also, more confident saying, at least right now, without seeing specifics, that, they would also fall under, Reader's Digest version as a chemical storage facility, if you will. Same rules apply under, Community Right to Know Act, the, EPA EPCA standards under federal law, and so all that being enforced by the state Department of Natural Resources. So, right now, even the little brick buildings you see the phone companies have sitting around with some of their equipment, they've got batteries in there for backup power in storage already. Not to this degree, obviously, but those hit our annual reports, and all those places because of the sulfuric acid alone. It's our hazardous materials planning that gets updated on an annual basis. All the fire departments have access to that system. Also to our plans, but it's also something that we look at and cover too. So, as far as risk and safety, it is what it is, right? A lot of bad stuff in batteries, but, it's planned for, it's accounted for, it's reported on. It's not something that they could just get away with not doing, because there's laws and standards out there that require reporting and planning and those kind of things. So,
Matt, I'll be truthful with you. I have a lot of concerns about battery storage at this level. And I don't know if all of those concerns can be addressed. I don't think so. And you just added one more to that list of concerns. You mentioned RWE. I have a lot of concerns with that. So that's where I'm at.
I think everybody brings up a good point. We need to really look at this and think things through. You recommending we pass on this?
Again,
Okay. You don't have to.
my whole position is there is risk. Are we addressing risk to minimize that risk? Like the standards Matt has written into the ordinance do. I don't think there's anything outside of maybe, the setback areas or something like that you might want to consider adjusting. There's not a ton. The standards are the standards. It's regulated. Now, depending on who's constructing, who's putting in, those kind of concerns, that's something above and beyond. But I'm not really recommending passage or not. I just know, I'm just confident that if you express what your concerns are, it should be, we should be able to get what you need to make an educated decision on which way you want to go with it.
Okay, so my understanding, I mean, I have dealt with, battery power assistance in cell sites, for instance. But the capacity, the storage capacity for those batteries, the risk goes up exponentially. Would I be right? As these batteries are, whatever they can store power wise, I mean, there's just a lot of risk as that power declines.
It's no different than anything, right? The bigger the anhydrous tank, the bigger the risk.
Exactly right.
The bigger the pipeline, the bigger the risk. We've got a lot of nasty things.
Yes.
That are buried in this county and that sit on concrete pads in this county, right? But we have a very high mileage of underground hazardous materials, pipeline transportation and all kinds of things, let alone what's going up and down our state US highways and the interstates, right? So I don't want to downplay risk, right? But this certainly isn't our biggest worry in the world for sure. Right? And depending on the battery, what it's holding in its capacity. I don't think it's anything that can't get addressed if you decide to go down the road of having an ordinance to allow it. Because we do an adequate job planning to mitigate that risk. And to this point, I think Matt's done a good job with that.
Well, we don't have a request from anybody for us to implement an ordinance right now. And I think that I'd like the opportunity to maybe search a little more on the setback requirements. What kind of toxic gas do we put in the air and send towards a farmer's home? How long does it take to dissipate that odor? So did you want to make a motion to table it, Susan, for further study? Is that what you wanted to do?
I think that's probably the best path forward.
All right, was that your motion?
Yes, it is.
I'll second it then.
What, I'm sorry, could you repeat the motion?
Made the motion to table for additional study
Indefinitely or for a specific period of time?
indefinitely.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye. Or Mary Ann, do I need to do a roll call on this?
I would go ahead and do it just so you have it on the record.
Chairman Shea,
Aye.
Supervisor Jones,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman.
Aye.
Supervisor Miller,
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen.
Aye.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Thanks for your work on that. Next up, Andy Wicks, engineer, discussion and/or decision to extend conditional selection offer to consultant for the 26-27 bridge inspection RFP. Morning, Andy.
Good morning. That's a busy room today.
Yeah.
Yeah, really quick, as Tim mentioned last week, selecting a consultant for bridge inspection services does not require board approval, but I wanted to go through the RFP process, which requires opening sealed bids or proposals in front of the board. So yeah, this is a follow-up on that. We had 4 qualified and really good applicants. We had Schemmer, Olson, HGM, and Snyder. And yeah, a little bit more background. So we had 4 proposals, and I had a team of 5 staff, the county, that reviewed these proposals, and then we graded them based off of a rubric that was provided to the consultants prior to them putting together their proposals. So they kind of knew how they should be wording it. And after grading them, 4 out of the 5 graders ranked HGM number 1. And so it is my recommendation that we move forward with, it doesn't take a board, but my recommendation is that we move forward with developing a contract with HGM for bridge inspection services for 2026 and 2027 to keep us compliant with state and local ordinance. So yeah, any questions or comments on that?
You want to vote on that, Andy?
I don't think the board.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, you're recommending that you move with HGM, and I think if your staff and your team looked at it, and that's their recommendation, unless you want me to look at it and evaluate them.
I have copies of the proposals. If
No, I don't know anything about them.
yeah.
I would say, we have to inspect, all of our bridges have to be inspected every other year. And it's important that you have the person that you want to do that inspection. So thanks for coming back to the board and letting us know who you selected. And let's get our deficient bridges up to speed.
Okay.
Rock on.
Thank you. Okay, next up is discussion and or decision on appointments to drainage commissioners. Let's see, Brad ain't in here, but
He's on his way.
okay. Iowa code requires we do 2 conservation commissioners. What they do, like when we have land issues or anything, they need to be landowners and not in the area where things are going on. John Erickson and Mark Bentley have both been on this, and we've used them for different things over the years. I don't think there's been much lately, either one of them told me. And I have talked to both of them, and they both agree they would serve again. It's under Iowa code. It's a thankless job, but somebody's got to do it.
So their terms expired, or this is a new?
This is about every 3 years is what the code says. And I think it's been 4 or 5 years since we've appointed them.
Who are they?
Mark Bentley and John Erickson.
I'll move that for you.
Okay,
I'll second.
thank you.
To reappoint for another 3 years.
Yes. Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, can we make a note on that for 3-year?
Or another term, whatever the term requirements are.
Need them to be, we need to review that in 3 years. Okay. Next up is discussion and or decision on appointment to Conservation Board. We had 2 people apply. Here, I got their names right here. Maury Salz and David Kramer. And
We, Brian and I, had a personal interview with David Kramer and a phone interview with Maury Sauls. Both of those individuals are engineers. One is a professional civil engineer, and the other one, I believe, was a mechanical engineer. He designs combines for Kloss. I think it's Kloss International.
Yep.
Both of them are involved in conservation and in the county. Difficult decision, can't go wrong with either one of them. I would make a motion to appoint David Kramer.
Got a motion for a second?
Is that Kramer?
Yes.
Thank you.
Tim, I'm gonna take your advice. I'll second that. I don't know the gentleman, but thinks your criteria. I'll second that.
As I said, both of them are qualified. Either one of them would be a bad choice.
Brian, anything you want to add from the interview process or?
I agree with Tim. They were both excellent candidates, and I know that there was a lot of volunteerism, and I think they both make excellent members of the board. Okay. Any other questions?
Are you gonna make a competing motion?
And
We gotta vote on this. We gotta vote on the first one first. Motion to approve Kramer by Wickman, seconded by Jorgensen. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Nay. Okay, now,
Why are you voting no?
I,
Why are you voting against the?
I'm waiting on discussion.
We can have discussion
right now.
We can,
Good.
or they can make a second motion now.
This was said, Jesus, we can't even agree on a conservation member? You gotta be kidding me.
We talked about it after that,
And I told you,
and
both of
we
them,
both, I agreed with you. I agreed, they're both great. And we talked that day, we talked about Sauls.
no, we talked about both of them.
Correct.
And it doesn't matter. It's not gonna be David Kramer. So
Someone make a motion or
move on.
whatever.
I'll make a motion to appoint Maury Sauls to the Conservation Board.
I'll second the motion.
Can you spell the name, please?
SALD.
How'd the interview process go, Susan? And
Well, I got no information on either one of them until just right now. The only person who talked to me about this was Brian. So the only name that I knew was Saul's. If I would have had information on both of them, I could have done some research and made a more informed vote.
I think that there was an email that went out to everybody with both of their applications, so doesn't matter.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. Maury Sauls,
And how do you spell the first name, please? M-O?
M-A, here. I have it just in my hand.
Underneath there. I saw you.
So those of you that spoke to these candidates, was the board, all the members of the board not able to get in on that discussion, or how was this done?
Well, it's similar to when you and Brian interviewed for the VA. As the board's representatives on those committees,
I was just
I
wondering.
took your recommendation for the VA.
Because I don't, like I said,
SALC.
I
Right,
don't, I
first
don't
name.
know either one. I have never talked to either one. Thank you.
M-A-U-R-Y.
M-A-U-R-Y. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Discussion about supervisors' responsibilities acting as compensation board for elected officials' salaries.
I know we have it on our calendars for a discussion in February as far as meeting with all of the other elected officials to determine what salary recommendations are going to be for next year. Last year, the board chair took it upon himself to do all of the research, collect all of the information, work with HR, work with Mitch. And we just kind of let him take the lead on it. And then we all got scolded because we did it incorrectly because we did not talk to the elected officials. I didn't know if we wanted to divide up the elected officials and have a one-on-one conversation with them and to do our own research. For example, I would look at the auditor's salary. I would have a conversation with Mary Ann. I would research what other auditors are being paid. And then we would have that information for the February meeting, or whether we wanted to, I just didn't know how we were proceeding with meeting our requirements since we are now the compensation board. Anybody got any other ideas or thoughts? I mean, I don't want to dump it on CFO. I don't want to dump
And I
it
don't
on
think it ought
HR.
to be one person either. I think if we all took one elected official, we could bring that to the board. I like that idea.
Bring it to our discussion with all of the elected officials. I think it's February 5th, is that?
Mitch, do you remember?
That's correct.
February 5th? Yes.
Well, we got spanked by our county attorney, the last time this came up. I don't want that to happen again, so I'm gonna ask the county attorney's office, maybe they can give us a little summary of what we need to do as a board. I'll tell you where I'm at. I met with last week, I met with those that are, county supervisors that are members of the, Southwest Iowa Juvenile Detention Center, and there's 9 counties that sit on that, we talked about the budget for the juvenile detention center. And all of us got to talking about individually their counties and what were they gonna do with salaries. And I got input from 9, basically, county supervisors. And, you know, I mean, I can lay that out, I can put that out in a, in a summary, and, you know, just add to this discussion. So that's, I mean, however you want to do it, but I think we need some direction from the county attorney's office.
I think the guidance is in Iowa code, and I don't think the attorney's office has to be involved. I think they should be.
How many pages is the Iowa code that we do have to read to determine? I mean, anybody have any idea?
It's probably 2 pages.
2 pages? Okay, well, that's reasonable.
I mean, we can get that information out, but I think the important thing is, like you've already started doing your research, we all need to do our research.
Right.
My question is, do we want to focus each supervisor on one specific job, one specific office, or whether we want to all research for all 5 positions?
Take one. What are you thinking?
I'd like to do the sheriff's office. I'd like to
Okay.
research that one. I know that's a big one. But I don't want to overstep here.
Well,
I just,
And I'll give you an
we have
example.
a duty to do.
Yes, I'll give you an example of what those supervisors I talked to, the overwhelming consensus was a figure. So I'm guessing if you look at the sheriff's office, you look at, we're talking county employees. And we're not gonna be looking at, different salary requirements for the sheriff's office and the roads. Overall, it should be just one for employees.
It's for the elected officials only. So it
Elected
would be,
officials only?
so the recorder, the treasurer, the auditor, the attorney, and the sheriff,
Okay.
and the board of supervisors. I guess there's 6.
All right. However you guys want to move forward.
And last year, we looked at it as a percentage across the board for all employees and elected officials. And that's where we were deficient because we didn't have a conversation with the elected officials to
Okay.
get their buy-in on it first.
Tim, who would you like to take?
I've already started my research on all of them. So, I don't want to work on one individual.
Okay.
All of our county officials, we're the 10th, I believe the 10th largest county. All of our elected officials are in the top 10 in pay. And I think, if we can keep them right there, we're doing fine. All that information is 100% available to anybody who wants to look at it. All you have to do is go to ISAC, which the county board is a member of, and you can get salaries for every position for every county in the state. And you can look and see where ours fall. We rank anywhere from 6th to 9th with all of our elected officials. I think we're doing great with them. But
I would agree with Tim. I would prefer to look at all of them, all of our elected officials, statewide.
I'm good with that.
Let's move in there.
well, you certainly don't have to do what I'm recommending. I'm just telling you that
Well,
I'm doing my own homework.
Yeah, we all need to know.
Want to rely on anybody else.
That's what.
Answers my question. Thank you.
All right. We'll look at them all.
We'll look at them all individually.
Yep. Next up, Supervisor Miller and Mary Ann Hanuser, auditor, Discussion of future action by Pottawatomie County Policy Committee.
So last week, the Board of Supervisors approved the Hopkins and Hubner Law Firm to review our existing policies and identify those that need to be updated. Mary Ann and I met with Policy Committee the following morning. It was an assigned scheduled meeting on our calendars to update the committee and to thank the work on the Policy Committee. The question we all had after that vote last Tuesday is, how do we move forward? There is a need for an in-house committee to review policies and revise and write procedures. Sorting the procedures from the policies and writing the procedures will take governance and process. A suggestion was to create a new committee, removing the stigma of the Policy Committee. Thus, the Employee Guidance and Governance, EGG, committee was hatched, the EGG committee. Jasmine has offered to create a charter document for the EGG committee that provides the path forward with clear expectations and accountabilities. And this document would be presented at an upcoming board meeting for discussion decision on adoption. The expectation would be for 2 supervisors to be appointed to the EGG committee and that it would be added to our list of committees at the January organizational meeting that requires appointments. And we had Jamie cancel all the Policy Committee meetings and remove them from our calendars for the future. So Mary Ann, what would you like to add?
Well, that's a great summary, because there is, even though our firm in Des Moines is going to be reviewing our current policies, life goes on and there is still a need for, I'm aware of at least 3 departments or offices who are currently working on or have a need for new or updated policies. And that work needs to continue. And so I wanted to commend this smaller group of policy committee that was formed in the summer who stood up in the absence of leadership in the HR department and gave their time ever since late July to go through our policies, and there are a number of them that they had ready to go to the board. They were unclear of how to do that. And so just so that we wanted to have this conversation today, just so that there wasn't any confusion, if new policies are put in front of you all for consideration, that they won't have done the work and then it goes to you and you say, oh, no, we got to wait for Hopkins and Hubner. And so Hopkins and Hubner doesn't know what we need right now, but this policy committee does, and there is a need for these departments. But I also wanted to commend the individuals who, as I say, stood up in the absence of leadership to fill this need on behalf of their fellow county employees. And Jamie Behrens from my office, I also want to compliment their employers who gave them the time to work on this. Jamie Behrens from my office took the lead on it. Alicia Schultz from the treasurer's office, and Lee Voss. Ryan Olderog was also a member, and Andy Brown. Anthony McCartney from IT, David Bayer, Kristen Bracker from the attorney's office, Matt Wilbur, and Jasmine Elmore eventually served on the committee when she became our HR director. But I think these people deserve commendation from the board just because, as I said, they stood up in the absence of leadership, gave their time. Their bosses allowed them to take that time to work on the policies on behalf of their fellow employees in Pottawatomie County. So that was simply our purpose in coming here today, just to say there is a need for new policies. They will continue to work on them in the process that we had outlined, and then bring them forward as they are ready to go.
Say thank you to that group for doing the work, and we appreciate that. Comments?
Thank you.
Questions?
The policies you speak of that are specific to a department, is that more like a procedure?
Some of them may be, some of them will, I guess we'll determine they'll determine as they get into it.
That'd be a procedure on how you govern your office or what your office needs to do to comply.
One of the offices, I don't know exactly what they are. One of the offices is IT. I'm not sure specifically what what their need is. So I'm not trying to dodge the question. I just don't know specifically whether they're more on the policy side or the procedure side, but that'll get sorted out.
Jasmine, anything you want to add?
I would like to add, thank you. So we have spoken about this current policy committee. I also want to commend the prior policy committee from where this all kind of started. So there's been a lot of work within all of these committees. And so the purpose now of this egg committee is so that we can really stop the divisiveness within all of these different areas. What we want to do is we really want to promote a culture that is, welcoming, connected, forward, and ready for change. And so everybody really has had a hand on this, including the team that is the current policy committee, and then there was a prior policy committee. So everybody did a ton of work throughout the years on this, even prior to my arrival. And so I'm thanking those employees as well. And we're all ready to move forward with the next steps. And just hopefully get us to where we need to be. I think this is a good welcome change that allows all of us to come together as county members, as department heads, as elected officials, and we are ready to all work together as one. And so it's going to be, all of these individuals are going to be working together specifically with the elected officials to make sure that these policies and these procedures are going to work with their area so that we won't have the stigma that we've had before. So I think this is a really good change on our end. Thank you, everybody.
And you've got experience putting those charter documents together, and can you have a draft to us in a couple of weeks?
Correct, yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Okay, next up is committee appointments. Jeff?
As I said, I was at the Southwest Iowa Community Detention committee meeting. We voted, they all approved basically a 3% increase in salaries. So that's where they're at. Just to mention.
Pete?
Didn't have any committee meetings, but I did have an opportunity to talk to a couple of our representatives, Dan Dawson and Brent Segrist the other day, actually yesterday. I know I'm the new guy. I've only been in my position for 18 days, but even though uninformed, I had the opportunity to sit down with them and express my concerns about the legislature this session and some of our hopes. We talked about the importance of having lobbyists. I'm not a lobbyist, but I'm a homeowner and I'm a member of the board. And I had a chance to talk to them for about an hour and let them know what I think about some of the things they have on the table right now.
Okay. I had a meeting with MAPPA, went to the VA meeting. Had a trails meeting. And the union contract meetings, conservation, another MAPPA meeting. I sat in on the sunshine law, how to run a public meeting, which all elected officials, new elected officials have to do. Off-highway vehicle park. We've done budget studies. Had a meeting with Golden Hills. And then the Bicycle Trail Committee had their annual fundraiser, which they done about $23,000 they raised that day, which was very good. Real happy about that. Susan?
I attended the policy committee. We had a budget session last Thursday. I had a board meeting for Golden Hills. I I attended the Potawatomi County Fair fundraiser Saturday night in Oakland. And yesterday I attended the Iowa West Racing Association meeting.
Tim? Okay. Next up, we got any public comments?
Yes, one, Nathan, is it Schooner?
No.
Good, okay.
Did you forget mine?
If you want to come up here.
Is it in my hands?
Yeah, is that it?
Mr. Fett, is that in your hands? Is that it?
Well, it was put on your table.
Okay.
It was on your desk.
Oh, I
before you
apologize. Here it is.
started.
It's underneath that. They put the black folder over it. I apologize.
Is he? Doesn't matter.
Up to the podium, would you, Nathan?
I'm sorry, it's underneath here.
All right, not a problem.
I have a gift, I'd like to give your county, if you would accept it. It's a Betsy Ross flag. And I'm trying to bring awareness to our country's 250th birthday on July 4th. And it's from Pennsylvania.
Very nice.
I didn't hear your name and address.
Nathan Schoonover, 149 Holly Hill Road, Dushore, Pennsylvania.
Thank you very much.
We're certainly honored.
Cool.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. And could I
Thank you.
just verify the spelling of your last name, please? Schoon.
O-N-B-E.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank you
for
very
coming in.
much.
Thank you.
Say truth.
Mr. Fett?
Mr. Fett?
My name is Dennis Beck. I live in York Township 22, 24783 330th Street, 30 and a half years resident of that property. Thank you for your consideration of looking into the battery storage, which it was confirmed that RWE, who is signed up all the people surrounding me, I have proposals of windmills north, south, east, and west of my property. And I suspect that that's who maybe perhaps requested it to Matt to do that. My concern on the batteries, when you take consideration, first of all, I make myself available for committee. I'll volunteer. If you want me to be doing something as a homeowner of 38 and a half years at my residence, I'll happily do whatever I need to do to help you folks. My first concern is that setbacks need to be, since RWE is the one who made the request to Matt, that's the people who are, the neighbors have signed easements for windmills, which means that it's very possible that one of those battery storage places could be right around my property, specifically north or east of me, very close. So I'd like to see the setback a minimum of 2,000 feet. And when you do your further research. And in addition, I'd like to see that have cement on the floor of the plant, wherever they have the batteries stored, and on the sides to give some particular protection to those of us who might be near there. Now, I live near the Iowa Interstate Railroad, and I learned through some crop dusters that there's some terrible wind turbulence where I live. It's like 4 stories down. We don't have a problem with the railroad. They've been good neighbors for 38 and a half years. But the crop dusters tell me that when they fly over, they have to be careful because the wind turbulence are a problem. That's going to create a problem with my area where I live, if indeed one of these plants are put there. So that's my concern. And I thank you so much for that. And I volunteer in any way, shape, or form to help the board. And one more thing, I had came across, when I heard about the battery plants, I went on the internet and within 10 seconds, I found 7 examples of terrible things that could happen with these lithium batteries. And I stand with our fire department in Underwood and Minden, who I've seen work hand in hand when there were railroad fires by my house. They saved my house. And we can't have these firefighters who are working for other companies who volunteer spend all their time on this fire. If it's going to be there for 17 days, like one of the examples I had found on the internet, it was horrible. So I thank you for your prudence in thinking about this and searching this. I'll be happy to help you anyway. Any questions? That's pretty much it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming up. Okay. Next up, we have a study session. Andy Wicks, engineer, and Jasmine Elmore. Discussion on secondary roads organization chart.
You all have digital, but I thought a physical copy wouldn't hurt either. In no hurry. Here, behind you guys. You gonna be talking? Yeah. Yeah. Go to those sections next. Yeah. You're welcome to stay on. You want me? I gotta wait till my wife. I think it's sooner than later, but yeah.
Yeah.
I said, let's go.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Sure, so I.
Okay, yeah. So, unless they're like, and then maybe we do want to back.
Yeah.
But,
We'll find out next
yeah,
time.
exactly.
I'm glad you made it office available to see the eyes. This morning, he's, Sarah. You know where that's at? I said, I've already been to 2 meetings. It was there, east side of the road.
See, that's the only turn in.
Andy, you're up.
Well, thank you guys again for, it's been a long day already, but really quick, wanted to give a shout out to Jacqueline. She is working on so many different things and she's taken time out of her schedule to work on this with me. So very helpful.
Hey, you guys. Look, it's hard to hear two conversations.
my fault. I'm moving now.
Thanks, Mr. Fed.
So wanted to do a quick background on the existing org chart and what I'm proposing, and then hear you guys' thoughts on the direction that I'd like to go. So on that first sheet, there's kind of a background paragraph. So just again, I've met with all of the leadership on my team, as well as a lot of the on the ground staff, to learn our strengths and pitfalls and what we're doing well and what we need to do better. And based off of the current unfilled positions, I think now is the best time to do a reorganization or move positions around. Just because we do have so many unfilled positions that I think that it's best to move forward.
And I just want to be clear, this is not a reorg in the traditional sense. So this isn't, jobs being lost or layoffs or anything like that. We really just want to make sure that he's got the correct structure going forward, just so that we have the right people who are working in the right jobs.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So again, today's goals are just to educate the board on the existing gaps, which I think you are all already aware of. And then my proposed org chart modifications. Then I want to hear your feedback on any concerns you might have. And then based off of this discussion, if it goes well, I'm hoping to ask that next week I get it on the board's agenda to do approval of job descriptions and approval to hire some positions. But depending on your feedback, I'm good to delay that. So, and the reason that we're doing this all at once is there's about half a dozen jobs or 8 jobs I want to bring forward, but there's some that I think need to happen now, and there's some that can happen over the next several months. But I thought, let's just get it all in front of you now, and we can decide the next best step.
Just take this to the union too.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. So with that, you can go to page 2, which is the existing org chart and the proposed org chart. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's fairly self-explanatory.
Mhm.
The red positions on the top half of the page are unfilled positions. So project administrator left in September, October, assistant engineer left in July, operations administrator left in, September, October. Project administrator retired in July. And then we had a job opening for Bridge Tech, I think in July, and we didn't end up moving forward with that due to some other hiring gaps. So yeah, that's kind of, we have some positions up high on the org chart that are unfilled, and then we have some boots on the ground positions that are also unfilled. And so my proposed org chart kind of looks like Christmas, but I am planning on, yeah,
Just making a few changes, yeah, so the, do you want to talk about the ones that are actually changing, like the project admin, so that's gonna change the thing?
yeah, definitely. So the project administrator position, I am planning on not backfilling that position, and that will turn into a construction foreman. So the project administrator was overseeing the project managers, the engineering techs, and the kind of the assistant field staff. However, I think that there is an immediate need for construction oversight. So, and on the second half of that sheet, there's the project administrator crossed out, and then a construction foreman that's green in the middle. And so that construction foreman would oversee the culvert crews because they do active construction of culverts, as well as the bridge crew would move to be under the construction. So there's a lot of arrows going on. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
But, and we can take as much time to talk through that. But essentially, the construction foreman will replace the project administrator. And that will come with a different salary as well. The project administrator was at 218, and we're gonna change it to a 217. 217 step one, which would be a $33,000
Decrease.
decrease.
Yeah.
Because that would be in line with the east and west foremen, and so we want all the foremen to be equal pay grade. And that's explained a little bit better on sheet 3, but yeah, there's a lot of information here. So, so again, the project administrator was overseeing office staff, and I want that position to change to a construction foreman that would observe field staff that are building things in the field. And they would oversee the culvert crews as well as our bridge crew, and better guide their work. Because as the current org chart, or the existing org chart, the bridge crew falls under the assistant engineer and the project administrator, and neither of those positions are filled. And so there hasn't been a very clear direction on the bridge crew. And so I'd like to put a construction foreman in place to provide clarity for the bridge crew. So with that, anything else on that position?
So the boxes that have half green, half white, or half red, half
Yes.
white, does that mean you're going from one position down, or from 2 positions down to 1?
That's a great question. So let's tackle them one at a time. The project manager, which is attached to the assistant project manager.
Yes.
The goal in the next 6 months is to transition the assistant project manager into a new project manager position. So we are going to completely remove the assistant project manager title, but move that person into a regular project manager position, which would be 1 grade pay grade. So we currently have 2 project managers, and so we're creating a 3rd project manager position. But that's really just moving the assistant project manager into a project manager position. And that's more of a 6-month horizon, but I thought if we're gonna bring it in front of you now, might as well bring it in. And then the engineering tech, we currently only have 1 of those positions, but I want to make a second one. And use one of the bridge techs to move into that engineering tech role. So that bridge tech 2 with the half slash through or half triangle, would move into an engineering tech position.
What's the difference between an unfilled position and a dormant position?
Yeah, so that's a good question as well. The unfilled is literally, we had someone in that role in the last year, and we haven't opened that up for rehire, but we haven't been able to hire that. And then the dormant positions are positions that have existed at some point in secondary roads, whether that be a year ago or 10 years ago. So we have a current or semi-current job description for that position. We just haven't actively posted that due to the needs of the department or the perceived needs of the department.
What was the driving thought process for this? Are you trying to save money with the reorganization or?
So I'm,
Part of it.
yeah, that's part of it, is save a little bit of money and then right fit positions for the actual needs of the department. Especially with construction, the east and west foremen, they primarily oversee maintenance, but they also have a construction crew under them currently. So in that top chart, the west and east foremen, they currently have culvert crews under them. But in talking with them, they're juggling too many between maintenance and new construction. And so having a single position that oversees construction of new things streamlines that. I'm not trying to answer your question.
No, you did.
Yeah.
Here's my concern about that. You, me, and Jasmine are all pretty new here. And I appreciate the fact that you want to save money. On the same token, I want to make sure that you don't reduce your effectiveness and take on too much as the department head. You're not doing that with this new reorganization.
Correct. And that's one reason I do feel overwhelmed with the current workload, but that's because I don't have an operations administrator or an assistant engineer or project administrator. And in talking with the other members of my team, we think it's best to retrofit those positions or change those position titles so that it better balances my workload and their workloads. I think the old operations administrator was part office manager, part HR, and part operations administrator. And so I want to right fit that role, and that involves a job title change, I think, and a job description change.
And do you have operations, right side and the bottom, operations administrator and ROC form? Are you combining those positions, or is that what you're?
So we are going to remove the operations administrator title completely.
Okay.
And we're going to convert it into a ROC foreman.
Okay.
So the old operations administrator focused on a little bit of HR, a little bit of operations administration, and a little bit of managing technical staff. And just my experience talking with the technical staff, they would benefit from having a technical supervisor over them. And that's where that ROC or ROC foreman comes from. So the operations administrator was pay grade 217, and we're going to change that to a foreman pay grade of 216. There's a slight cost savings there, but it's because the job title changed from kind of a administrative HR role to a technical management role.
And all the changes are going to keep us competitive as far as attracting new people.
I'm confident with that. And then back to Keith, your point, we are also not eliminating positions with it. So we're going to reduce some pay and change some pay, but we're not going to eliminate any positions.
And reducing pay in positions that haven't been filled. Correct. Either haven't been filled or they're new. Yeah. So it's not like we're changing people who are already in these roles. We're not going to do that.
Correct.
I applaud you for working on this. It's going to be your department. And I like that, Andy. And I think that you'll better manage with the people you need and how you need to do it. That's what we're looking for as a board.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you'll have 9 direct reports.
Correct. Yeah. And I feel that the limit is 10 for direct reports. Just my observation and Exodus chapter 18. So God told Moses, divvy it up with 10 people. So I feel like 10 is the max. And the previous org chart was, and I didn't include this in the existing org chart, but there was really two direct reports. There was the operations administrator and the assistant engineer, who reported to my predecessor. And so I want to flatten the organization in a way that provides communication a little bit better to the people who are doing the work. So the existing org chart at the top of your page too is a little bit wonky, but
And I think that's just because when you have county governments or, you know, a lot of government entities in general, a lot of times people don't know exactly where things are supposed to be and where they go. And so this gave him a direct line of sight to be able to better manage his department. And also, like I said, just make sure he's got the right people in the right jobs, but he's also got a compressed work structure so that, you know, it's not, you're going through all of these different chains of commands to ultimately get to Andy. So he's got a direct connectedness, I think, to all of the people within his area.
I think there was some confusion before. Who answers to who? Say that. You know, sometimes you hear, you know, people having to answer to this, you know, this higher authority or this. And that always got to be a little bit of a confusion. You know, simplified organizational chart certainly to go along with fixing that situation. Thank you.
And I think with Andy being open, it's really going to be helpful because if there are any changes that need to be made, you know, he's welcome to, you know, to feedback and.
I saw the non-pro article.
turned out well.
Andy, it looks like you're gonna add a couple of leadership positions, a construction foreman and the roads operations center foreman. Is there job descriptions for those?
Yes, I provided them to Jasmine and she's in the process of reviewing to confirm
Okay.
that the salaries are.
Good, awesome. The construction foreman. Well, let me just ask this, Jasmine, you might remember, is part of his duties to inspect and quality assurance of bid projects.
We can check on that. That's
Let
more
me
of
pull
an
that
Andy.
up.
Yeah, I'm like, that's more of an Andy question.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not a big deal. Adam Ring, Jody Marsh, they're your project managers, right?
Yeah.
Would it be that tough to throw names on some of these? So,
I can definitely do that.
okay. And I think the comment was made. I think it's nice and it's good for us to know your organization chart. But we're not running your road department. So you do what you need to do to get the job done and improve the service to our people. That's the name of the game. I don't really care after that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
think we
agree.
went
Make
into
it your
agreements to you
department.
all Because of the number of changes that are happening, and then there's some of these we might have to take to, the unions, and then, there's also monetary changes, so, most of these that he has found, there's a decrease, so he's got some savings here, but we wanna make sure that, you know, everybody's aware of what we're doing as well, so.
Yeah, we
Yep.
wanted it to be clear.
Yep.
And there's so much information that,
Yeah.
hopefully, if you do have questions, yeah. I'll just sit down with you. And Susan, did I answer your question fully about the half triangles?
I think we got off track when we got to the bridge tech,
Yeah.
the tractor trailer, but
So the Bridge Tech 1 position is, we're gonna permanently change that job description to be a tractor trailer driver. And that person will still, they would report to the construction foreman, work with the bridge crew. However, they would primarily be moving crane equipment, or excavators or bridge equipment, as their primary role. However, they would also be physically constructing bridges as well. So they would under the bridge crew. And they'd support the bridge crew. It would be a different job.
Andy, what is the total of bridge crew workers?
So we currently have 2 bridge crew members who do an excellent job. They do a lot with the staff that they have. However, when they pour a deck or unbutton it, they have to pull from other teams. So they are calling our east and west foreman, traffic managers and saying, hey, can you spare a few guys? And so having one construction foreman that can direct work and provide the right number of resources, I think would be valuable for the bridge crew so that we can not have to pull from other crews.
Are you
Yeah,
gonna-
currently we have 2. We have 3 openings as the existing org chart reads. And then moving forward in the proposed org chart, there would be 2 bridge tech 2s, a tractor trailer driver, and then they would be able to pull from the culvert crews as needed. So we would change the bridge tech crew 2 position to be an engineering tech position. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
So your tractor trailer guy that's on the bridge crew, you mentioned that he would be doing bridge things too. So would he have a hybrid job description? He wouldn't just be the truck or the tractor trailer like you have at the other.
I was not planning on changing his job description or making a separate new job description for that because we already have an existing tractor trailer position job title, but I can.
We can add in some of the duties if that's the
Yeah.
case, yeah.
Because sometimes when he's done, he's got to get right in the crew, right?
But that would be
Correct.
other duties as assigned
Yeah.
in the job description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that would be helpful to add it, we can. We currently have it written, other duties as assigned for the trailer and tractor drivers. And so the trailer and tractor drivers on the west and east side, they already sometimes get pulled to help the bridge crew. And that's not in their job description, so.
We can do a specific call out. That's what.
But we can definitely
I
add that.
don't know if one's needed.
Okay.
It just sounded like this position was a little different than the other tractor trailers. And I didn't know whether the union would come into play with that or not, so.
That's a good question.
Andy, doesn't all of your job descriptions say other duties as assigned?
Yes.
Okay, so we're covered.
So.
As long as they have the appropriate license to drive the vehicle, your guy mowing can drive a truck.
We require a CDL. So yes.
Yeah. Sweet. Other duties as assigned.
Andy, does your department have liquid carriers permit? Does you do have tankers? Do you have any reason to have a tanker trailer?
We do have a water truck.
Water truck, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure, they have the right license to drive it, but I'm not sure which CDL.
All right.
Endorsement.
You only have to have endorsement if you're carrying fuel,
Yeah.
oil, hazardous material.
And so, yeah, they're.
All right,
But that's about it.
great.
No vote or anything needed. We just wanted to bring this forward so that you all had a line of sight and were involved in the process of review.
Keep up with the deal.
And then, yeah, sheet 3, sorry, really quick, sheet 3 is just explaining the changes again, one more time, and whether it's saving, or increasing, salaries. And so now that, nothing really to talk about there. And then sheet 4 is just, scale. So, are you all comfortable with me bringing this to the board next week?
It might be this week or next week. We might have to check with the union on that. Be available, but within the next few weeks.
Bring it to us for what?
For
You might
New
need to.
job description.
Yeah, if there's a change, like a major change in one of the job descriptions, specifically the office manager, they might have expanded duties, in addition to now having a direct report, which would be the admin assistant that he's gonna hire.
With
So all
the, go ahead.
So all you'll be bringing is job descriptions or changes in job descriptions, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would the construction foreman be included in that?
Yes.
And the rock foreman.
Yeah, since there's a new job description, I think we have to bring a
Right.
approval of job description. to the
Andy,
board.
do you feel you'll manage better with all these?
It would
I
be a
like
breath of
it.
fresh air.
Yes.
I like it. Thank you.
Thank you all for your time.
that it?
Yeah.
That's all we had.
Questions,
bring-
comments, anybody?
Oh, and then on the last couple dated, there's a Q&A if you have any further
I
questions.
read it.
So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And if you have more questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out and we can talk through it more.
I think it's your department. It's so important for you to do and keep us informed.
Yeah.
You know, that's the key here.
How much better is the county to see it?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Don't answer that, Andy.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey. No action taken. Next up is a closed session. Jasmine Elmore,
Thank you.
Director, Human Resources, closed session pursuant to Iowa Code 20.17.3 for discussion and or decision on labor negotiations, collective bargaining matters.
Thank you.
I'll make the motion. We go into closed session.
I'll second the motion.
Will you do a roll call, please?
Yes, Chairman Shay,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman, Supervisor Jorgensen.
Aye.
Supervisor Jones.
Aye.
See you, Andy. Thank you.
Aye.
Bernie, you take care of yourself.
I have to move my age.